Which Chinese city is best for foreigners in 2026? Honest comparison. You have decided to move to China. Congratulations. Now come the hardest question you will face before you even land. Which city? Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen, Chengdu, or one of the rising stars most foreigners have never even heard of? Here's the truth. Nobody tells you. There is no single best city. The right answer depends entirely on your career, your budget, and the kind of life you actually want to live. But here's what should worry you. Choose wrong, and you could end up paying double the rent in a city that was never going to fit you in the first place. I am Joe Nogueira. Welcome back to the Middle Kingdom Code. Today we are going on a honest, data-driven comparison of Chinese best cities for foreigners in 2026. Real cost of living, numbers, real job markets, and the policy shifts that are actually changing where smart expats are choosing to land. Let's find your city. Section 1. Understanding China's city tiers. Before we compare individual cities, you need to understand how China itself classifies them. Tier 1 cities, Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou, are China's largest, wealthiest, and most international connected urban centers, strongest job markets, largest expat communities, highest cost of living by a wide margin. Now, next tier 1 cities. New Tier 1 cities, Chengdu, Hangzhou, Wuhan, Xi'an, Nanjing, and several others, have grown explosively in recent years. They now offer careers opportunities and cultural depth that generally rival the traditional Tier 1s, often at a fraction of the cost. Most newcomers choose between these two categories. Let's break down the real contenders. Section 2. Shanghai, the international powerhouse. Shanghai is the city most foreigners think of first, and the reasons are straightforward. It's China's commercial capital, the most cosmopolitan city in the country, and the place where international business life integrates most naturally. The expat community here is the largest in China, which means immediately social infrastructure the moment you land. International schools, Western restaurants, English language, medical care, and a social scene that genuinely rivals major Western cities. Walk through the French concession and you will be forgiven for forgetting which country you are in. Now, let's go. Shanghai's job market leads the countries in finance, trade, luxury goods, technology, and professional services. It functions as the regional headquarters for a large share of multinational companies operating in China. Here's the hottest reality. Shanghai sits at 100 on the cost of living index, the highest baseline in the country. A single professional living comfortably here with a real social life and decent housing typically budgets somewhere between 28,000 and 45,000 yuan a month. A central one-bedroom in a foreign popular district like Jing'an or Luqiazui runs roughly 7,000 to 9,000 yuan. If you are bringing a family, international school fees add another 250,000 to 500,000 yuan per child per year. Shanghai suits you if you want the strongest international career path, the biggest expat network, and a cosmopolitan lifestyle, and you are financially prepared for what that costs. Section 3. Beijing, the cultural heart. Beijing is an entirely different experience. It's the political and cultural capital, and that identifies shapes everything about life here. For short-term travel, Beijing is unmatched. The Forbidden City, Temple of Heaven, Summer Palace, the Great Wall, 8th UNESCO World Heritage sits within reach of the city. For long-term living, the picture sharpens. Beijing's character is most traditional, more history-focused, more formal. Winters are genuinely harsh, with temperatures dropping to minus 10 degrees Celsius to minus 15 degrees Celsius. English usage outside major institutions and tourist sites is limited. The food is savory, garlic and scallion forward, wheat-based, think Peking duck, and dumpling over rice and noodles. Cost-wise, Beijing scores 95 on the index, close behind Shanghai, not meaningfully cheaper. A single professional here budgets 26,000 to 42,000 yuan monthly, with housing as the dominant driver, and a central one-bedroom runs about the same 7,000 to 9,000 yuan range as Shanghai. Beijing is the best if you want deep immersion in Chinese history and culture. You are working in governments, research, or education, and you don't mind real winters. Section 4. Shenzhen, the tech future. Now, the rising star, Shenzhen feels like the future, and it's positioning itself to be exactly that for foreign talent. As a migrant city, most residents arrive from somewhere else in China. Shenzhen has a uniquely open, dynamic social fabric. It's the only city on this list with a genuine tech and future identity being baked into its core. Salaries in tech and finance run high enough to offset the costs of living, which sits at 90 on the index. A one-bedroom in the central tech cluster of Nanshan runs roughly $700 to $900 a month. Here is what's actually new in 2026. Shenzhen's Shanghai Corporation Zone just released a fresh action plan specifically targeting foreign talents' mobility. Multiple entry work visas now processed in just 5 working days, a pilot fast track for dependents, residence permits, and expanded housing subsidies for foreign specialists. The city has also built dedicated immigration integration services centers, handling visa services, permanent residence processing, and Chinese language training in districts like Shanghai and Longhua. Shenzhen is best for tech professionals, entrepreneurs, and ambitious young expats who want a fast-paced, innovation-driven environment, and an immigration system that's actively trying to make their life easier, not harder. Section 5. Guangzhou, the trading capital. Guangzhou is a third Tier 1 city, and it offers something that other two don't: serious affordability without losing Tier 1 benefits. At 83 on the cost index, it's the most affordable of China's major cities. A single person can live comfortably on roughly $1,600 to $1,700 a month, covering housing, food, and transport, with average rent landing around 830 USD a month. The city has an incredible street food scene, efficient and cheap public transportation, an active expat community, and a strong wave of modern co-working spaces. Guangzhou's training hub identity means real opportunities in import-export, manufacturing, and wholesale. It's also your gateway into the Greater Bay Area. Shenzhen, Hong Kong, and Macau are all close enough for regular travels. Guangzhou is best if you work in trade, manufacturing, or logistics and want Tier 1 advantages without the Tier 1 price tag. Section 6. Chengdu, the happiest city. Now, for the city that consistently tops China's happiest rankings, Chengdu has held the title of China's happiest city for 12 consecutive years running. and it's not resting on that reputation. The city is actively investing in culture, green space, and a thriving tech and creative economy to back it up. Chengdu is pushing hard into becoming a serious national tech and innovation hub with a talent pool of nearly 7 million people, ranking 4th nationally and 24th globally on innovation. Its annual Foreign Talent Job Fair is now in its 11th year and growing. On cost, Chengdu is the clear value leader on this list, scoring just 65 on the index, nearly half of Shanghai. A one-bedroom in central Chengdu runs around $500 a month, and a comfortable lifestyle fits inside an $800 to $1,200 a month budget. That's roughly half what you would spend living the same lifestyle in Shenzhen. Chengdu is best if you want a genuinely high quality of life. Relaxed pace, incredible Sichuan food, real culture, without the financial pressure that comes with the bigger names on this list. Section 7. Hangzhou, the tech beauty. Hangzhou is famous for silk, for being the birthplace of Longjing green tea, and more relevantly for you, for being the home base of Alibaba and Ant Group. It's one of the cleanest, safest cities in China, with strong universities, Chengjiang University, among them, solid hospital access and a genuine balance between urban life and nature. It's increasingly a serious tech hub in its own right, not just a satellite of Shanghai. Cost-wise, Hangzhou sits at 75 on the index, but here's something worth knowing. It's had the fastest cost escalation of any city on this list, driven directly by its booming e-commerce and tech ecosystem. A single professional now budgets 18 to 30,000 yuan monthly, about 25% below Shanghai for a broadly comparable lifestyle. Rent for a central one-bedroom runs around $800, with cheaper options near $500 in areas like Guangzhou. The trade-off: internet speed in English and English fluency both lag noticeably behind the bigger Tier 1 cities. Hangzhou is best for students, tech professionals, and anyone who wants a beautiful, clean city with real innovation, economy, career paths. Section 8. The 2026 Big Picture. Here's the cultural reality of moving to China in 2026. The cost gap between cities is wide and consistent. Shanghai 100, Beijing 95, Shenzhen 90, Guangzhou 83, Hangzhou 75, Chengdu 65. Housing and international schooling are the two biggest costs driven across every Tier 1 city. The genuinely good news. China's inflation has stayed close to zero, and that combined with a stable currency means your dollar, euro, or pound stretches further here and almost anywhere else in the developed world right now. And policy is moving in your favor. China has steadily expanded its unilateral visa-free list, now covering 50 countries, with the 240-hour visa-free transit policy extending to 65 ports nationwide. The direction of travel, but intended is towards an easier, faster entry process for foreigners than at almost any point in the past decade. Section 9. Which city should you choose? Here's the bottom line. Choose Shanghai for the strongest international career path and the largest expat community if you are prepared to pay for it. Choose Beijing to immerse yourself in your history and culture, or to work in government, research, or education if you don't mind real winters. Choose Shenzhen for tech entrepreneurship, and an immigration system actively working to make your move easier. Choose Guangzhou for trade, manufacturing, or logistic with Tier 1 benefits at a real discount. Choose Chengdu for the best quality of life cost ratio in the country, full stop. Choose Guangzhou or Hangzhou if you are a student or tech professional who wants beauty, innovation, and a calmer pace of life. Otros, financial advice. Before you commit to anything, do this. Visit your top 2 or 3 choices in person before you sign a lease or a contract. What reads well on a spreadsheet can feel completely different once you are actually standing in the neighborhood. Talk to expats already living here in there. Join the local WeChat groups and forums. A real-time, on-the-ground perspective beats any video, including this one. And remember, this isn't permanent. Plenty of expats start in Shanghai or Beijing. Then realize a year or two in that Chengdu or Hangzhou actually fits the life they want better. China has over 100 cities with 1 million plus residents, widely different climates and living costs that can swing more between 2 Chinese cities than between 2 entirely different countries. Your city is in here, somewhere. Now you know how to find it. If this helps you narrow things down, 3 quick things. Like this video. It helps YouTube the real, practical expat content deserves to reach the next person staring at the expat decision. Subscribe to the Middle Kingdom Code. We are building the most complete, currently accurate library for living and working China. Cities, visas, money, daily life, and share this with anyone seriously considering the move. You might be the reason they land in the right city the first time. Your China story starts with one city. Choose wisely and enjoy the ride.